Beige Holdings manufactures and distributes cosmetics, bath soaps, laundry soaps and allied products on behalf of brand owners for both the local and international home and personal care industry. Its controlling shareholder is now the Lion March company. It has a market cap of 114 million rand, a price to earnings ratio of 219 and a dividend yield of 1%. Beige, Paul, what
I'm not quite sure why we put Beige in with these pharma stocks, but it's because somebody sent me a message saying that where's Beige, and we didn't talk about Beige. Look, it is an interesting company. It's had a bit of a checkered history. It was back in the late 90s, the victim of a big fraud case. Those of us who've been around in the market long enough will know it sort of overstated its earnings. But effectively then it repositioned itself under CEO Mark de Nicola as like a contract manufacturer of cosmetic products, as you read there. And they've got a good A-list sort of customer base. They've battled, though, over time. They had Tebe Investments as an anchor shareholder. That Lion Match company you referred to there is the old Lion Match company that makes the box of matches, and they make pineware appliances and so on. That, in turn, is taken over by a company called Vestact, which is Durban-based, Abdullah family and so on, so Musa family. So I think it's kind of well positioned. There was a bit of a scrap over control of it last year. But it's really been quite a slack performer. It's sort of hovered around, 8 or 9 cents a share forever.
And the share price is looking pretty interesting.
Exactly. That's because it's at that share price level and it's kind of bounced around. That's a 3-year chart. Before this, it was at about 35 cents is the high. So it's really a company that's had very spotty earnings. I guess that's what you could say about it.
Well, Lavan, Paul doesn't seem to be quite positive on this one. How do you feel about it?
I remember seeing Beige listing on the Alltex. It was the first company to list on the Alltex a couple of years ago. And yes, it's had a very checkered past. So we know that they've had problems more than a decade ago. Good people running the business and they have a lot of spirit. But unfortunately, they've not been able to deliver in terms of some of the projects that they'd spoken about, exposure into Eastern Europe, which was promised. For now, it does have contracts with repackaging and some distribution within the sector. I wouldn't like to label it a true pharmaceutical business. So there's some corporate action, Lion Match looking to let's say increase their stake, and the current holders and management saying that maybe the price should be higher. The price on the table is about 8 cents. Lion Match themselves have a checkered history, and the NAV on this is 12 cents. Let's say in total there's some maybe some promise in time, but for me this is not a hot stock.
Not hot for you. Paul, hot or not?
Yeah, look, I think we've got to watch and see what Gora Abdullah wants to do with this. He's now the chairman. He's the guy from Lion Match. I think they could do okay, but it's tough. It's very competitive. The pricing on those manufacturing contracts is tight. I think for the moment, not hot. But, new broom sweeps clean, maybe one to watch for the future. But
so
for the moment, no.
Wait and see on Beige Holdings. So, 2 not hots.